folks, and welcome to part 5 of the River City Girls playthrough. And can you folks believe it? Believe it or not, when I'm recording these playthroughs and when I feel like when I actually start the beginning of recording the playthroughs, I'm still nervous. I still have a little bit of nervousness in me when I actually start narrating or doing commentary on these playthroughs, even if I'm doing it with the co-host with the most. I still get jitters. I don't know why I get jitters. I just do. But anyway, folks, we are on our way to fight the third boss, Hibikiri or something like that. I'll actually show you how to get to her, and we'll be actually fighting her within this part. She's a little bit of annoying, and I'll get more into that as we go on, but I did break a Sabo statue. I don't know if that was the right way of getting it or not, but you know, who cares? I'm at least trying to get it. I had to get those guys out of the way because they were prevent me from getting a statue, but I'm pretty sure this is not the legitimate way of getting it, but who cares? As long as I get it, that is my end goal. But at the time of this recording, I did finish recording the remainder footage of River City Girls, so I don't have anything else to worry about except for doing the commentary on the following parts. But remember I was talking about the Sabo statue within the arcade? Yeah, somehow I must have gotten it because I did I did at the end of the playthrough get all the necessary Sabo statues that I need. So I was a little bit confused on when and how did I break it. So you know what? I'm not gonna argue with it. The logic is done. What's done is done, and I can't be happier for that. But yeah, folks, we got a beef of a part here. Not only that, we're not gonna get just information on the third boss. We're gonna figure out what we need to get to her, and we're gonna fight her in the process. So yep, I hope you folks are ready. Anyway, since we're just doing the fetch quests again, because I told you this game is kind of, they're kind of big on it. Not really, but not really. But anyway, found out that there was an, there is an arcade about 40 minutes from where I live. I was looking at a video on YouTube. It's called the Arcade Monster. So if you're ever in Florida and you want to go to a local arcade, that place would be the place to be. I saw a couple of videos on YouTube about pretty much what that place has to offer, and it is awesome, folks. I'm telling you. Inside, I saw like what the video was telling me. I've seen basically they had an arcade set up like Tekken, and I saw Tekken 3. And I saw like Mortal Kombat and classic arcades that you go. It's rare to see that in the United States these days because the arcade scenery died because most people are going to consoles. And in Japan, I know Japan is arcades are really big there. I think I actually talked about this before because this conversation is seeming kind of familiar, but anyway, yeah, Japanese, they are really big into the arcade scenery, and it sucks that, United States don't have the same thing, but in the end, it is what it is. But anyway, this arcade was just, oh man, like, back in the early 2000s, when arcades was relevant, I used to love going to it, and actually, time of this recording, I do actually plan on going there to the arcade just to see what it has to offer and all that stuff. But when I was looking at the video, it had what looked like a knockoff Dance Dance Revolution machine. So we're gonna go ahead and see what that is all about. But anyway, folks, as we sit here and beat up on more enemies, there's actually, I did go back a few days ago just to replay the game, and I did notice that like they are, I told you that there are different enemy variations, And the stronger, like, I noticed that the reds are usually the leaders, like I stated before, but there are also some gray types that are just as strong. So if you ever came across whether you want to get the red or the gray variation, I say go for the gray variation because they are a little more rare to come about than the actual the gray variations are more rare to come across than the red variation. And I kind of lost my train of thought. I didn't know what the heck was going on for a second there. But yeah, I believe this room has 8 floors to go down. It's just like a freaking elevator sequence without being an elevator sequence. And you folks should know how I feel about elevator sequences within a video game. If I haven't told you before, I kind of hate it. I can't really stand it. This right here is kind of like a little rest stop. Inside those boxes are apples. So if you, by any chance, need to refill your health, then you can go ahead and do so by breaking open these boxes, like I just showed right there. But yeah, if you need a little pit stop, there you go. But yeah, we got a couple more floors to go, and then we'll be done beating up everybody. Yeah, this sentence right here makes sense. This little conversation. Kyoko saying, did you ever notice why everybody's in this city? Why everyone's so violent? And Masako pretty much brushed it off, saying, she don't really care that, everybody's so violent. And I don't know if I asked this before. I think I might have, but man, like, I don't know if I could live in a city where, fighting is as natural as breathing water, where you have to, pretty much fight every day, just like you're at a school, you gotta fight, you going to work, you gotta fight, you coming home, you gotta fight. I don't know if I can do that every day, if at all. I mean, I know it's video game logic. Every time I pick this freaking shovel up, this guy was freaking attacking me. I say these guys are some of the more annoying enemies within the game, only because they seem like they have a bunch of health, unnecessary health. So if I ever encounter an area with these guys, it'd be a good idea to take those guys out first, because like I said, they're annoying. They got the thing that make you dizzy, the little look like tear gas or whatever. But yeah, anyway, more enemies to fight within the game. But yeah, I want to talk about I saw how Sonic is coming. Everything is coming digitally faster these days. If I could say anything about the situation that's going on now, just stay safe. Do whatever they tell you to do, the steps they tell you to do in order to stay safe. This is kind of a stressful time for everybody, and it's just, we gotta do what we gotta do. I keep saying, a lot of times. I don't know why I'm saying that exactly, but I'm just saying it. If I mentioned this already, but, I cannot pronounce this chick's name. Hibari? I'm just gonna call her Hibari. I know that's not her name, but I'm just gonna call it that because it's simple for me to just pronounce. That's how I see it spelled. Hibari. But anyway, when we get to her, it's gonna be insane. If you guys ever played Touhou, or even know what Touhou is, Touhou is a weird game, folks. Touhou is like a bullet hell game, and we're gonna see exactly where that comes from when fighting her, the third boss, because all the other bosses, oh man, I just don't want to get into it with her. Out of all the bosses that I fought with in the game, she was my least favorite. Even least than the final boss of the game. And like I said, when we get to her, eventually we'll get to her. And you can see in River City, I'm not a very forgiving person. These characters keep begging for forgiveness, and I just sit there and dwell on them. But yeah, it was like what is that one guy name on YouTube? Here's another Sabo statue. What's his name? I might be even saying it wrong, but he's the creator who does the like, if you folks ever seen the Pork Chop and Flat Screen series, if you ever seen that series, folks, go see it. It is excellent. But I think his name is Amezi. I might be butchering that, but he did a parody on River City Girls, and he said there is no mercy in River City Girls, which kind of applies to me. This guy right here, and the co-host with the most didn't even recognize this guy. This guy is Skullmageddon, the guy who caused us to go mad in our Double Dragon Neon um, Let's Play. This guy caused so much rage. If you don't know what I'm talking about, folks, go watch the playthrough. It is hilarious all the way through. Even though at the time of that recording, the co-host with the most was sick, but you know, if you can get past the coughing and whatnot, it's a pretty good playthrough. I had a good time playing that game. And this game right here, just seeing his little cameo appearance is kind of like, I can't believe the co-host didn't notice it until we did our playthrough together. And I pointed it out to him, and he was just in shock from that point on. But yeah, right here he's playing. He must have survived that fall at the end of Double Dragon, because here he is right now. A matter of fact, at the dojo, Billy and Jimmy at each of the dojos we went to serves as trainers, so you know they're doing their own thing, and here we are doing ours. But now that we have the cat offering we can give to Hibikiri, and I know I'm saying that wrong, like I stated before. Is it Hibikiri? He beat Hibari? I think it's Hibari. But yeah, we can give her this fake cat statue because she accepts gold offerings, but since these girls are poor, and I got $10 taken away from me, they just give, you know, they give what they can. I mean, if she can fake, if they can fake giving out gold to somebody just to have access to them, why not? More power to them. But now, we get a little backstory of why, Kyoko didn't want to be called, what, Masako called her. So we get a nice little story right here of them as kids, so, wow. But, these, I always enjoy these little, panel parts right here, because you can see the artwork on exactly what they go through. And it's always nice. It takes a little break and actually provides a little backstory of what these characters actually are. So you could actually, you know, try to relate to the character a little more. But wow, just gotta laugh at that a little bit. Admittedly, when I seen that before, I just smiled. But she said, "Tell her something that she don't know." Anyway, we gotta take this cat to the fashion designer, like pretty much Masako pointed out. But yeah, as we get closer and closer, man, it seems like from what I'm reading, because I have this little article pulled up or what about, people really hated this boss, and I'm like I said, when we get to her, I am going to explain, you know, exactly what's going on when you see the fight actually take place. So if you haven't seen anybody else play this game and you're just now watching me, you are in for something else, folks. You really are. So we're gonna see eventually when we get to her. We just gotta get through these enemy portions first. I don't even know why they decided to throw this in here. I guess, you know, if you needed a little more experience before exactly taking this lady on, which I kind of highly recommend, then you know, this would be a great little part to add to. But we're gonna be getting to the exciting part, folks. You're just gonna see here in just a minute, as soon as I rack up some more experience from these mooks right here. I stated this before, but the reason that I'm actually, you know, fighting all these enemies, like I said, is for the experience, because I want to make sure that I am ready for whatever boss I gotta take down. And see, the door just locked. We can't go in until we place the cat on that. Then we get a couple of experience and money for that, enough to level up actually. So I'm at level 14. I feel comfortable enough to take on this lady. So let's do it. She's gonna go ahead and bring her intro down, and I'm gonna explain while they're talking exactly why this boss actually sucks. So, anyway, as you folks know, River City girls can be a little unforgiving, especially if you're not prepared. So, part of this unforgiveness is this boss right here is a boss so cumbersome to the fact that it made a lot of people want to drop the game out of spite. And not only does we're gonna explain why that this boss is pretty much unforgiving. It's not that hard, but the matter of fact, the fight is just, it's it's unnecessary. I think it's unnecessary, the fight. And I'm going to kind of get into that exactly the moment that we actually start the freaking fight. But you can see she's floating in the air right now. But yeah, we're gonna actually get into why this fight sucks. So as soon as she's done, explaining her situation and getting pissed off because our characters are assaulting her, we're gonna get ready to rumble. But yeah, it's like I said, stated before, it's kind of like Touhou. If you don't know what it is, look it up. Look up some gameplays. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of people on YouTube that's done that. I don't know if I'm going to play any Touhou games, but we'll see what it goes. But right now, yeah, the fight's starting. Anyway, so since the fight started, I can go ahead and talk to about it. She has a bullet like hell attack, what you're seeing right now. Yeah, she's gonna be doing this a lot. Not only that she has this, these bullet-like attacks, she could also summon minions. So you can't simply, because she flies, you can't simply, go up to her and hit her. No, you have to wait until she's hovering from side to side. And here's something stupid that I didn't do. You can wall jump and hit her, but I was stupid enough not to do that during this playthrough, so you're going to see an unnecessarily long version of this fight, folks. And with the power of editing, I'm going to go ahead and speed this bad boy up, because I'm sure you folks don't want to see me fail at this and all the stuff I had to do. So through the power of editing, we're doing that. But yeah, you have to basically you can wall jump and hit her. Sometimes her attacks will make her invincible, and that really sucks, folks. Vulnerable attacks is like, her most vulnerable is when she stands up from the ground after falling, and her stun is timed, so it's best to hit her with like 4 light attack strikes and a heavy finish. But if you can time it just right, you can land 2 full combos on her before she hovers back into the air. And while in the air, she'll do a number of different attacks, but the one worth noting is when she does shoots the needle that ricochets off the surface. So she's invulnerable while doing this. So try to aim the needle attack so where it hits her and cause her to fall down. So she'll be stunned immediately when you do that. So just try to do that. But yeah, you can avoid the minions that she summons if you want to. You can do a lot of you can pretty much one good punch, get them out the way before she sends this knife attack on you. So basically, what you're gonna see is that she's gonna start doing like this sort of spider-like needle things that you'll see. She's going to do that attack, and if that attack, folks, hits you, then this attack right here, if that attack hits you, you got to do everything you can to avoid it, folks, because if that attack hits you, it hurts a lot. It's going to take out at least half your health. At least, so if you already have health and that attack hits you, that's it. But yeah, keep the assault going and do your best to avoid her moves, and you'll pretty much have it, you know, sort out in no time. And watch out for those robots too, because they can do a lot of damage as well. So yeah, folks, just play it smart, and in the end, you'll eventually beat her. So that's all you got to do to pretty much just. But all of that though, all of what I just mentioned is freaking why she's annoying. You can't just stand still and wail on her, unfortunately. So, you know, just do your best you can to survive her onslaught and you'll be okay. But watch out for those robots too, like I mentioned before. So yeah, just do your best. Avoid this attack, like I stated before, and you'll be fine. Even if you have to take a hit from the little spider things, the little bullet hell thing that she had. Even if you have to take a hit for that, that'd be alright. But yeah, anyway, folks, just a few more hits from and that'll do it. Yeah, and there we go. We pretty much got rid of what I think is the most annoying boss in the game, and she's throwing a tantrum, but that's okay. We defeated her, and that's just good feeling. She's all banged up, don't have to deal with this boss anymore, so all is good, folks. And I told you before, this boss is extremely, I think I mentioned that in the last part as well, that this boss was extremely annoying. I think I did mention that actually. So once we got her out of the way, she's gonna tell us the next location, which is downtown. Also, while we're doing our downtown location, we'll be coming to the fourth boss, which is gonna be a familiar boss. I'm not gonna spoil it until we actually get to him. So when we eventually face him off, if you've seen my other playthroughs with just strictly me and the co-host, this boss is going to look familiar to you folks. So I don't want to ruin the surprise just yet, folks. Just yet. Don't want to ruin it yet, but it's gonna be a little odd. But I'm gonna go ahead and beat these characters up before I actually get to the next area that we need to get to, which I stated before is going to be downtown. So once we do that, get to downtown, we'll be able to start our mission and what we need to do in order to get to the next set boss, so we can continue this transformation, so we can continue this quest over and over. But yeah, folks, I'm going to pretty much after I get this in, I'm going to pretty much end the part here, folks. We'll be back with part 6 with River City Girl. So until then, folks, take care and have a great day. See you soon.